As the city of Chicago sparkles under the fading light of evening, a quiet dome stands proudly on the edge of Lake Michigan, a gateway not to another country but to another universe. This is the Adler Planetarium, the first planetarium ever built in the Western Hemisphere and one of the most inspiring places on Earth for those who dare to look up and dream. Here, the mysteries of the cosmos unfold before your eyes, from the birth of stars to the infinite stretch of galaxies. The Adler Planetarium connects us to the grand story of the universe. It reminds us that every light in the night sky is a world of its own, waiting to be discovered. Since its opening in 1930, this planetarium has stood as a symbol of curiosity, knowledge, and imagination. Millions have walked through its doors to witness the beauty of the universe and to feel the wonder of being a tiny part of something so vast. Adler is not just a museum of astronomy, it is a living bridge between science and human imagination. Whether you are a scientist, a dreamer, or simply a traveler in search of awe, the journey through Adler begins with one simple act: looking up. In the early years of the 20th century, when the world was just beginning to understand the vastness of space, a man named Max Adler had a vision. He was a businessman and philanthropist from Chicago who believed that knowledge should never be limited to scientists alone. He dreamed of creating a place where ordinary people could experience the wonders of the universe, a place that could bring the stars down to Earth. In 1930, Max Adler turned that dream into reality. He established the Adler Planetarium, America's very first planetarium, on the shores of Lake Michigan. It was more than just a scientific building, it was a gift to the public, a monument to curiosity and discovery. Adler wanted every visitor, young or old, to look up at the dome and realize that they were part of something much greater than themselves. The timing was remarkable. The world had just entered an age of exploration and technological innovation. Radio was connecting continents, airplanes were shrinking distances, and astronomy was revealing galaxies far beyond our own. The Adler Planetarium became a symbol of this new age where imagination met science and education met wonder. From its opening day, the planetarium welcomed thousands of visitors, eager to witness what was, at the time, a miracle of modern engineering, a machine that could project the night sky indoors. People who had never seen a telescope or a map of the stars could now travel through the heavens without leaving Chicago. Max Adler's legacy still lives within the walls of this planetarium. His belief in the power of science to inspire hope continues to guide Adler's mission nearly a century later, to ignite curiosity and connect people to the universe we all share. Standing proudly at the edge of Chicago's museum campus, the Adler Planetarium is more than just a center for astronomy. It's a masterpiece of architecture and vision. Its location on a small peninsula reaching into Lake Michigan gives it one of the most breathtaking views in the entire city. From here, you can see the entire Chicago skyline stretching across the horizon, reflecting off the calm waters of the lake. It's as if the planetarium sits between two worlds, the beauty of Earth and the mystery of the cosmos. The building itself was designed by architect Ernest A. Grunsfeld Jr., who combined classical symmetry with the bold, futuristic style of the Art Deco era. The structure's iconic 12-sided dome immediately draws the eye, symbolizing both stability and the infinite curve of the universe. The exterior, made from warm, pink-brown granite, glows beautifully under sunlight and stands as a timeless monument to human curiosity. Inside, the architecture continues to inspire. The circular design of the halls and theaters mirrors the motion of planets and the endless cycle of time. Every hallway, every window, and every dome feels intentionally aligned with the stars above. The Central Dome Theater, known as the Sky Theater, was once the most advanced of its kind in the world, a place where the night sky could be recreated in astonishing accuracy, decades before computer graphics existed. Even today, the Adler Planetarium remains a perfect blend of science, art, and location. Whether viewed from the air, the lake, or the city, it seems to invite every passerby to step closer, to pause for a moment, look up at the sky, and remember that the universe begins just above the horizon. Walking into the Adler Planetarium is like stepping out of Earth and into the cosmos. From the moment you enter, the lights dim, the air feels alive with anticipation, and the vast dome above you becomes a canvas for the universe itself. The experience begins in one of Adler's spectacular theaters, where state-of-the-art projection systems recreate the night sky with breathtaking realism. Thousands of stars shimmer overhead, planets drift silently through the dark, and distant Each show at the planetarium is a journey through time and space. One moment, you're standing beneath the constellations of ancient civilizations, the same patterns once studied by explorers, philosophers, and dreamers. The next, you're soaring through the rings of Saturn, gliding past nebulae, and diving into the heart of a black hole. The immersive 3D visuals and surround sound pull you deep into the experience, blurring the line between science and wonder. Adler's signature presentations, guided by expert astronomers and storytellers, bring complex ideas to life in a way that feels personal and emotional. You don't just learn about stars, you feel their light. You don't just hear about galaxies, you travel through them. Every visit is different. Sometimes the show explores how the universe began with the Big Bang. Other times, it traces humanity's journey to the moon or the search for life beyond Earth. Whether you're a child seeing the stars for the first time or an adult rediscovering your sense of awe, the Adler Planetarium turns science into an unforgettable adventure. One that reminds us that the greatest mysteries are not out of reach, but waiting right above us in the sky. Beyond the theaters, the Adler Planetarium opens into a world of discovery, a network of exhibits and galleries that tell humanity's story among the stars. Each exhibit is a portal to a different aspect of our connection with the cosmos, blending science, history, and imagination into one seamless experience. One of the most beloved exhibits is Mission Moon, which takes visitors back to the early days of space exploration. Here, you can see real artifacts from the Apollo missions, including the Gemini 12 spacecraft that carried astronauts James Lovell and Buzz Aldrin into orbit in 1966. It's not just a collection of objects, it's a story of courage, teamwork, and the unbreakable human desire to reach beyond our limits. Another highlight is the universe, a walk through space and time, an awe-inspiring journey that starts with Earth and carries you outward to the very edge of the observable universe. Giant digital screens, interactive displays, and holographic visuals guide you through billions of years of cosmic history. From the birth of galaxies to the future of stars, it's a reminder of how small we are, yet how deeply connected we remain to everything that exists. The Our Solar System Gallery offers a hands-on look at the planets, moons, and asteroids that share our celestial neighborhood. Visitors can touch meteorites older than the Earth itself, feel the weight difference between worlds, and experience the scale of our solar system in a way that textbooks could never capture. Throughout the planetarium, smaller exhibits explore ancient astronomy, star navigation, and the instruments that helped humankind map the skies. From early astrolabes to modern telescopes, each display shows how curiosity has always guided us. From the first stargazers to today's space explorers, every gallery inside Adler tells a piece of the same universal truth, that the story of space is also the story of us, our dreams, our questions, and our endless search for understanding. The Adler Planetarium has always stood at the crossroads of science and innovation. From the moment it opened its doors in 1930, it embraced the newest technology to bring the universe closer to people's eyes. What began with a mechanical star projector nearly a century ago has evolved into a digital universe powered by some of the most advanced visualization systems in the world. At the heart of the experience are Adler's state-of-the-art dome theaters, where powerful projectors and computer systems recreate the cosmos in real time. The digital projection technology can display more than 9,000 stars with incredible precision, simulating everything from eclipses and planetary orbits to distant galaxies millions of light-years away. These immersive environments make it possible to explore the universe not as a flat image, but as a living, moving space you can actually travel through. Behind the scenes, Adler's scientists and engineers constantly push the limits of what's possible. They develop new software, create 3D maps of the cosmos, and design interactive tools that help visitors visualize complex astronomical data in ways that anyone can understand. The planetarium's commitment to innovation extends beyond its walls. Connecting with research institutions and space agencies around the world, interactive exhibits use touchscreens, augmented reality, and data from real telescopes to give visitors direct control of their learning experience. Whether you're zooming into a nebula, tracking satellites in orbit, or visualizing how light travels across space, every interaction turns science into something personal and alive. Even the Dawn Observatory, located right outside the main building, benefits from technological upgrades that allow real-time imaging and live streaming of celestial events. These innovations ensure that Adler isn't just preserving the history. Education has always been the beating heart of the Adler Planetarium. From its very beginning, the planetarium was built not only to inspire wonder but to teach, to open the mysteries of the universe to everyone, regardless of age or background. Every year, thousands of students, teachers, and families walk through Adler's doors to experience hands-on learning that makes science come alive. The planetarium's educational programs are designed to spark curiosity and creativity through exploration. Classrooms visit for interactive field trips where children can launch virtual rockets, track the movements of planets, or even simulate life on Mars. Each visit turns scientific ideas into real, memorable adventures. Adler also runs special programs like Adler Teens, giving young people the chance to work alongside astronomers, engineers, and educators. These students help create exhibits, conduct small research projects, and share what they learn with visitors, becoming the next generation of science communicators. Beyond the planetarium's walls, Adler's outreach extends to communities across Chicago and beyond. Through mobile observatories and digital learning platforms, the planetarium brings telescopes, science kits, and live astronomy sessions to schools and neighborhoods that might never have access to them otherwise. These outreach missions make sure that no one is too far away to touch the stars. Teachers are also given resources and training to bring space science into their classrooms, empowering them to guide their students toward discovery. Special events, summer camps, and workshops encourage families to learn together, turning curiosity into a lifelong connection with science. In every program, Adler's message remains the same, that science is not distant or difficult. It's something anyone can be part of. By inspiring children to ask questions and explore the universe for themselves, the Adler Planetarium helps shape the dreamers, inventors, and scientists of tomorrow. Just steps away from the main planetarium building, standing quietly on the shores of Lake Michigan, is one of Adler's most remarkable treasures, the Dawn Observatory. While the planetarium's theaters let you travel through simulated space, the observatory lets you witness the real thing. It bridges the gap between imagination and reality, allowing visitors to gaze directly into the night sky. The Dawn Observatory houses one of the largest public telescopes in the Midwest. Its powerful optics can capture light from celestial objects millions of light-years away. On a clear night, you can see the craters of the Moon in stunning detail, the rings of Saturn, the glowing bands of Jupiter, and even distant galaxies that appear as faint smudges of light, ancient light that has traveled across space for millions of years just to reach your eyes. What makes the Dawn Observatory truly special is its accessibility. It's not hidden behind laboratory walls or restricted to scientists. It's open to everyone. Visitors of all ages can step up to the telescope, look through the eyepiece, and experience the same sense of wonder that early astronomers must have felt centuries ago. During the day, the observatory offers solar viewing sessions where guests can safely observe the surface of the sun, watching solar flares and sunspots dance across its fiery face. At night, guided programs help visitors navigate the constellations and learn how to find planets, stars, and other cosmic wonders. The observatory also plays a key role in education and research, hosting public star parties, live astronomy events, and even digital broadcasts for people who can't visit in person. Whether you're a first-time stargazer or a lifelong enthusiast, standing inside the Dawn Observatory is an unforgettable reminder of how vast the universe is and how small, yet significant, we are within it. Here, beneath the quiet sky of Chicago, the same stars that guided ancient travelers still shine, connecting us all to the timeless beauty of the cosmos. The Adler Planetarium is more than a museum. It's a living, breathing community of explorers, dreamers, and stars. Throughout the year, it comes alive with events that bring people together under the same sky. These gatherings blend science, art, music, and culture, reminding everyone that curiosity is something worth celebrating. One of the most popular experiences is Adler After Dark, a special monthly event that transforms the planetarium into an adults-only night of discovery. Visitors sip drinks, enjoy live music, and explore the exhibits in a relaxed, playful atmosphere. Under the dome, the night sky becomes the backdrop for an unforgettable evening where science meets social life and where everyone leaves a little more connected to the universe. Another highlight is Adler's public star parties, open-air events that invite the entire community to observe the sky through telescopes set up on the planetarium grounds. Astronomers and volunteers guide guests as they find planets, constellations, and sometimes even comets or meteor showers. Families gather, couples share telescopes, and strangers become friends. You'll see the vibrant influence of artists like Kay Walkingstick, Joan Quick-to-See Smith, and T.C. Cannon, whose works blend storytelling, protest, and poetry through brush and canvas. Their art reminds viewers that native creativity is not locked in time. It's moving, breathing, and evolving with the world. As you walk through, you can feel how deeply personal these works are. They are not simply displays of technique, they are statements of identity, declarations of truth. Every color, every texture carries emotion. Every brushstroke feels like a heartbeat. And just when you think you've seen it all, you find a quiet piece tucked away in a corner. A simple, hand-carved figure or a minimalist photograph, something that makes you pause and reflect. You realize that even in its most modern form, native art remains deeply spiritual. It continues to bridge the space between humanity and nature, between history and tomorrow. Every year, as winter fades and the desert begins to bloom, something extraordinary happens at the Herd Museum. The quiet courtyards fill with music, color, and celebration. The air itself seems to come alive with creativity and community. This is the Herd Museum Guild Indian Fair and Market, one of the largest and most respected native art gatherings in the entire United States. For 2 unforgettable days, each March, the museum's peaceful grounds transform into a vibrant festival of culture, where hundreds of native artists from across North America come together to share their work, their stories, and their spirit. It's more than an art market, it's a living heartbeat of tradition, innovation, and pride. As you enter, the first thing you notice is the sound, a rich symphony of drums, laughter, and song. You hear the soft strumming of guitars, the rhythmic beat of traditional dances, and the murmur of conversations blending in dozens of native languages. The scent of sage, roasted corn, and fry bread drifts through the air, mixing with the desert breeze everywhere you turn. There are booths and tables overflowing with art, handmade jewelry shimmering in the sun, woven baskets with flawless symmetry, colorful pottery glazed in earth tones, paintings bursting with emotion, and textiles that tell stories in thread and pattern. Each artist sits proudly beside their creations, ready to share the meaning behind every piece. Many of these artists come from families who have been creating for generations. You might meet a silversmith whose grandfather taught him the old ways of shaping turquoise and silver, or a young painter experimenting with digital techniques inspired by her tribe's oral traditions. The diversity of styles and stories is breathtaking. The fair is also a gathering of friendships and reunions. Elders meeting old friends, children discovering new dreams, and entire families connecting through art. Visitors from around the world come here not only to buy, but to learn to experience native art as something alive and personal. Under tents and canopies, dancers in traditional regalia perform with grace and strength, feathers catching the light, bells ringing softly with every movement. The rhythm of the drums echoes across the museum courtyard, connecting everyone in a shared moment of energy and respect. It's not a performance, it's a celebration of life, spirit, and heritage. Throughout the weekend, workshops and demonstrations give visitors a chance to see the creative process up close. You might watch a potter's hands shaping clay from the earth, or a weaver carefully threading a pattern that has been passed down for centuries. Children listen wide-eyed as artists explain the symbolism of color, pattern, and form. There's also a sense of recognition here. The fair serves as a prestigious platform where artists are honored for excellence in craftsmanship and storytelling. Awards are given not only for beauty, but for authenticity, innovation, and cultural respect. Winning at the Heard Museum Indian Fair is a mark of honor, a celebration of both skill and soul. As the sun begins to set over Phoenix, the fair transforms again. Lanterns and soft lights illuminate the pathways. Music drifts through the evening air, and people gather under the stars to share stories. There's laughter, there are hugs, and there's a feeling of community that words can barely describe. In those glowing moments, you realize that the Indian Fair and Market isn't just an event, it's a living reminder of what the Heard Museum stands for. It's about connection between generations, between cultures, and between art and life itself. It's proof that native creativity is not a relic of the past, but a radiant force that continues to grow, evolve, and inspire. Deep inside the Heard Museum lies one of its most powerful and emotional spaces, an exhibit that doesn't just display history, but confronts it with truth, courage, and compassion. It's called Away from Home, American Indian Boarding School Stories. The moment you step into this gallery, the mood changes. The air feels heavier, quieter, the lights dim slightly, casting long shadows that draw you inward. This is not a place for entertainment, it's a place for reflection, remembrance, and understanding. The exhibit tells a painful chapter of American history, a story that spans from the late 1800s to the mid-1900s, when thousands of Native American children were taken from their homes and families by government order. They were sent to boarding schools, often hundreds of miles away, in an effort to erase their languages, their traditions, and their identities. Walls are lined with black and white photographs, children standing in uniform, rows, their hair cut short, their eyes uncertain. Some smile shyly at the camera, others stare straight ahead, with expressions that seem to carry both innocence and confusion. Beneath the photos are the names of the schools: Carlisle, Haskell, Sherman, and dozens more, each one a reminder of lives uprooted. Display cases hold letters written home by students, some filled with longing, others with silence. You can see the faint handwriting of children trying to express what they couldn't say aloud. There are school uniforms, textbooks, Bibles, and disciplinary rules, relics of a system built to replace culture with conformity. But among the sorrow, there is also strength. The voices in this exhibit are not only of loss, they are of resilience. Through recordings and interviews, survivors and their descendants share their stories. Their words are raw, honest, and deeply moving. You hear about friendships formed in hardship, songs sung in secret, and languages whispered at night, acts of quiet defiance that kept their identities alive. One display recreates a typical boarding school dormitory: narrow beds, plain blankets, a single light bulb hanging above. The emptiness of the room speaks louder than any words. Nearby, a mural shows the transformation of children before and after, photographs that reveal how drastically their appearances were changed. It's heartbreaking, yet essential to see. The curators of this exhibit have handled this history with immense care. Every artifact, every story is presented with dignity, framed not as tragedy alone, but as a testament to survival. The design encourages silence, not out of discomfort, but out of respect. Visitors walk slowly, some in tears, others deep in thought. At the center of the exhibit is a wall of remembrance, names of children who never returned home. Flowers and offerings are often left there by visitors, small symbols of love and recognition for lives lost but not forgotten. As you move toward the end of the gallery, A video installation plays the voices of survivors and their families. They speak of pain, yes, but also of healing. They talk about reclaiming their languages, rebuilding communities, and reviving the traditions once threatened by those schools. Their words transform the space from sorrow into hope. By the time you leave, your heart feels heavy, but your spirit feels awakened. You understand that this exhibit is not just about the past, it's about truth-telling, acknowledgement, and the ongoing work of reconciliation. Away from Home reminds every visitor that history cannot be changed, but it can be faced, learned from, and honored. It reminds us that the voices silenced long ago now echo loudly within these walls, carried forward by generations who continue to stand, speak, and create. The Heard Museum doesn't hide this story, it amplifies it, and through this courage, it helps ensure that such stories will never fade again. Beyond its breathtaking exhibits and powerful storytelling, the Heard Museum stands as something far greater than a collection of art. It is a living classroom, a place of learning, dialogue, and connection between cultures. Education has always been at the heart of the Heard's mission. From its earliest days, the founders believed that understanding native art was not just about seeing it, but about listening to the stories, the meanings, and the people behind it. That belief continues to shape every corner of the museum today. As you walk through its peaceful courtyards, you might encounter a group of schoolchildren gathered around a storyteller, their eyes wide as they listen to ancient legends told in both English and native languages. In another gallery, a curator might be guiding students through a lesson on symbolism, explaining how colors, shapes, and patterns carry messages of faith, family, and respect for nature. The Heard Museum's education programs reach thousands of students each year, from local classrooms in Arizona to visitors from around the world. Workshops teach not only history, but empathy, helping children understand that art is a living expression of identity. Many leave with a new appreciation for the land they stand on and for the cultures that have called it home for centuries. For adults, the learning continues through lectures, film screenings, artist talks, and cultural demonstrations. Renowned native artists and scholars visit regularly, sharing their perspectives on heritage, language revival, environmental stewardship, and creative innovation. These conversations are not just academic, they're deeply human. They challenge stereotypes and invite everyone to see Indigenous culture as diverse, evolving, and contemporary. The museum also plays an active role in supporting Native communities directly. Through artist residencies, scholarships, and collaborative exhibitions, the Heard provides opportunities for Indigenous voices to be heard, celebrated, and respected. It is not a museum that speaks about Native people, it is a museum that speaks with them. In one of the museum's open-air spaces, you may find artisans demonstrating traditional crafts, pottery shaping, weaving, jewelry making, sharing techniques passed down through generations. Visitors are encouraged to ask questions, to touch, to feel, and to understand that these skills are not relics of the past, but living traditions that still sustain families and communities today. The Heard Museum is also a bridge between cultures. It invites everyone, native and non-native alike, to share in a respectful dialogue. School programs often end with discussions about identity, respect, and coexistence. Students learn that history is not something written in books, it's something carried in people, stories, and art. Even beyond its walls, the museum's educational impact spreads across Arizona through outreach programs, traveling exhibits, and community partnerships. It helps preserve endangered languages, documents oral histories, and provides platforms for Native youth to explore their own creativity and heritage. Every learning experience here is built on one simple but profound truth, that understanding leads to respect, and respect leads to connection. The Heard Museum teaches not only about art, but about the heart of humanity, about how culture shapes who we are, and how empathy can bridge even the widest divides. As visitors leave these programs, they often carry more than just knowledge, they carry awareness, gratitude, and a new sense of responsibility. Responsibility to listen, to learn, and to honor the cultures that have shaped the land long before cities and museums existed. As your journey through the Heard Museum draws to an end, a quiet realization begins to settle in. This place isn't just a museum, it's a voice, a living heartbeat of heritage, memory, and resilience. The halls that once seemed like simple galleries now feel like sacred pathways, each filled with stories that remind us how art is not only a reflection of beauty but also of survival, faith, and identity. Every pottery piece, every woven thread, every carved figure becomes a message from generations past, whispering across time, we are still here. We endure, standing once more in the open courtyard, surrounded by sunlight and desert air. You can feel the spirit of the Southwest all around you, the red earth beneath your feet, the sound of rustling leaves, the distant hum of the city. It all feels connected. You begin to understand that this museum is not about the past. It's about continuity, the ongoing story of Native peoples who continue to create, teach, and thrive. The Heard Museum is more than a destination. It's a reminder to see, to listen, and to respect. It teaches us that art is not just what we hang on walls. It's what we carry within us. It's in the songs we sing, the traditions we honor, and the stories we share with the next generation. For visitors, it's an invitation to explore deeper, to ask questions, to learn directly from native voices. Every visit supports the preservation of these powerful cultures and helps ensure that their stories continue to be told, not through textbooks, but through living, breathing art. So, if you ever find yourself in Phoenix, Arizona, step beyond the desert's golden horizon and enter the Heard Museum. Wander slowly, listen deeply, let the stories find you. Because within these walls, the past and the present walk side by side, and every step you take adds another heartbeat to the legacy of understanding. And before you leave, take a moment in the sculpture garden, feel the sunlight, hear the echo of songs that once filled this land, and remember that this isn't the end of a story. It's an ongoing journey, one that connects all of us. If you enjoyed exploring this journey through the Heard Museum, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video to help others discover the beauty of native art and culture. Let's keep these stories alive, not just through museums, but through awareness, respect, and appreciation for the cultures that make our world so rich and diverse. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and never stop listening to the stories the world has to tell.